Debt. Debt. What is debt? Debt is that money which you and I owe. Debt is that thing which we owe other people. And when we look at our community, our countries, our environment now, everything, all shops, everywhere, people want to give debt. And most of us, we borrow. We borrow food, we borrow clothes. We borrow beyond our means. Why? Why? And there is one thing I want all of us to know. When we read Proverbs 22, verse 17, verse 7, it says, the rich rule over the poor. The borrower is a servant to the lender. When you and I keep borrowing, keep living beyond our means, it means we make ourselves slaves. Are you a slave? Are you a slave? Debt makes us slaves to the lender. Debt makes us slave to a lender. When we look in life, there are needs and there are wants. A needs are your basic necessities, your basic essential requirement for survival. For example, where to stay, the food, the shelter, the water. And now your wants are those things we go beyond. We want a good house, we want a good car, we want a good job, but can we afford it? And that is where our limitation comes, the money we have. The money we have. And that is where we find most of us getting into debt, because we want things which we cannot afford. We want things which you cannot afford. But I want to encourage and tell somebody today, debt is not good. Once you get into debt, you become a slave to the lender. And that is what will lead us to our next discussion on how do we then live within our means. It's time for us to live within our means. The banks are there giving us those debts because they want profit. They are out to make money. They are out to make profits. So they don't give you for free. When you go to that clothing shop, you go to that grocery shop, all of them, they give us debt. Everywhere we have that temptation of debt on our faces everywhere. But is it, always ask yourself, is it a need or is it a want? If it is a want, discipline yourself and say no to it. If it's a need, then yes. So, but I want to encourage someone today as we begin to go. Are you a slave? Just know that the moment you become a debtor, you become a slave to the lender. And they will rule over you. If you do not want to be ruled over, if you do not want to be a slave, we need to cut off from debt. Debt is very bad. And it needs to start with us having a life of discipline. Coming first of all to that realization that debt is not good. Debt is not good. That is why most of us, we are paid on the 25th, on the 30th, on the 1st. 1 week down the line, we no longer have money. We start borrowing. The cycle goes on and on and on. I have worked in a financial institution as a banker for about 5 years. So there are many things. How do we come out of it? We'll discuss more. Have a nice day. Be blessed.